hit another subject before I end my opening statement, and that's Iran. What if we got the greatest deal ever from Iran? They're going to give up their nukes. They're going to give up their ballistic missiles. They're going to become Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. No more terrorism. That's right. They're going to reject their own Islamist ideology of the 7th century that they've used to indoctrinate others, that they preach every single day. That's right. Khomeini's going to become Mahatma Gandhi, and the world is going to have peace forever. Yeah, we'll sign that deal. Sure, we'll sign it. Now, why would they sign such a deal? What if it's the greatest deal of all deals ever? Why would they sign it? You see, the problem is, ladies and gentlemen, it's not a matter of a deal, a negotiation, or diplomacy, or playing this thing out. Khomeini, the Islamist Nazis, have told us what they're going to do. And they believe this is directed by God. And they have slaughtered tens of thousands of their own people in the last few weeks, over the years, in order to advance this agenda. Do you think signing a deal is going to stop anything? Do you think they're going to honor the deal? The issue isn't whether we negotiate. The question is, why do we negotiate? The question is, why do we think some deal is going to keep these people under control? It's not. Now, it might temporarily. They may pull back temporarily, exactly what North Korea did. Oh, they pulled back. They pulled back for a few years, and all of a sudden, hey, guess what? We have a few nukes. They will play this game. They look at long ball. And even if they were to pull back during the Trump presidency, that's 3 more years. What about after that? What if we get a Biden or an Obama? Or what if we get some weak Republican? The only president to actually take forceful action against Iran is President today, Donald Trump. What happens when he leaves? Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot, as our generation, leave it to the next generation, our children and grandchildren, to deal with this. We must deal with this. Or they'll have tens of thousands of ballistic missiles. They'll have scores of nuclear warheads, and they will be able to reach our country. And since they've been willing to slaughter their own people by the tens of thousands, you better believe that they will use those nuclear warheads against our children and grandchildren. They're weaker than ever before. They're not going to be this weak ever again. And they do not follow agreements. When we pulled out of that Obama deal in 2018, they immediately began violating the deal that was still in place with Europe. Systematic breaches. Iran intentionally reduced its compliance with the agreement in a phased manner, leading to multiple ongoing violations rather than a single event. Enrichment levels. Iran increased its uranium enrichment to 60%, significantly higher than the 3.67% limit set by the agreement. Stockpile limits. By late 2019, Iran breached the 300-kilogram limit on enriched uranium, later exceeded permitted stockpiles by 30 times. Centrifuge usage. Iran installed and operated advanced centrifuges prohibited by the deal. Monitoring suspensions. Since February 2021, Iran restricted the International Atomic Energy Agency of the UN from fully monitoring its nuclear facilities. Formal termination, they announced it in October 2025. You think our envoys or somebody else's envoys or signing an agreement is going to change the mindset of a terrorist regime that is slaughtering its people as I speak, that is already trying to build new nukes? We signed a paper, peace in our time? No. The problem isn't negotiations. The problem isn't they won't agree to this or that, or we can get the best deal in world history. The problem is them. The West needs to understand what we're dealing with. For 47 years, I don't know what it's going to take, but we need to comprehend what we're dealing with. That regime needs to be eliminated to save our children and grandchildren from having to deal with it, and to save the people of Iran who are, as I speak, being slaughtered.